Okay, what's up, boys? So today's day 38 of becoming the best boxer in Guam, and I slept for like 10 hours straight, and so I basically missed practice because my truck still don't work. So because I'm gonna have to walk there for like, and it's gonna be like an hour 30-minute walk. So I basically missed practice. I did, right? It's already 7 o'clock now, and so today I'm just gonna work out at home. And it just so happened somebody commented on my video asking for he said he just started working out boxing at home, and he had advice. And so today I guess I could show you my advice of how to box from home, because honestly that's how I started. I started boxing from home, backyard, 2 years ago, right? I actually got into boxing on my a few days after my birthday, because you can't celebrate on the weekdays, right? So we celebrated my birthday on the weekend, and it was with the boys. We went to the beach. We went to the beach with like six, seven of us, and birthday boys. Me and my, because we had birthdays like one day after the other or something like that. And each birthday boy, me and my other friend, sparred every single other person. And so that was fun, right? No experience. The only thing I watched was Mike Tyson. And so I was very stiff when we started boxing, and getting punched in the face was so like flinching. We flinched so much. And so, you get better from that. Two things, the flinching and the looseness, gets better over time as you do more boxing, because that's how, honestly, the natural thing to do, to flinch, to to tense up when you're getting hit. And so boxing is like unlearning that, to look at the punch that's coming at you and to not brace too hard, you feel me? To like just be loose. Being loose is kind of unnatural. But that's how you conserve energy. That's how you throw the hardest punches. That's how you be faster. Okay, so I took out one side of my glove so I can show you guys how to put on the gloves. So it's gonna be I have no idea. I didn't even structure this at all. It's just gonna be like off the dome of my advice. Okay, so for one, you don't actually even need gloves. So I started with no gloves because my friends had the gloves. But I would put on wraps just because it feels cool. I feel cool with wraps on. I feel like a boxer. So if you don't feel like cool and you feel like somebody's watching, somebody might be looking at you even though it's at your own house, you look cooler with wraps on, okay? And you guys see the way I did it? The palm is open so you can grab down. And so that's a much cooler way that I just learned. I just learned this probably like 4 weeks ago, right? And so, yeah, let me teach you how to do it. You do that. That's not gonna be a good tutorial. You do that. Wrap it 4 times. 1, 2, 3. What was that, 4? 4. Take it out. Oh shit. Take it out. Take it out of your hand. Put it right there. Wrap it twice. 1, 2. Then around the wrist. 1, 2, 3. Then do the fingers. Right there, then make an X. Over here, make an X. Over here. Oh shit! I like to do it from a wrapped up position because it makes it so I can do it faster. But you don't need to. You can do it when it's all over the place. It doesn't look nice though. And then here. 1, 2, just do it twice. I do it twice. And the rest are on your wrist. Usually 1 or 2 wraps. I think I did mine a little bit weird, but yeah. Okay? And there. It should look like that. There should be more cushion on this part where your knuckles are, because that's what you want to protect. But honestly, we're not even going to be punching the bag or people. So for now, these gloves, since we're working out at home, don't have no equipment, because I started with no equipment. These are just to look cool. Okay. Okay, now let's go outside. Okay, boys. we are outside, okay, and so there's a couple things, like two things that I did that got me good, were good enough to go to a boxing gym and then say that, yeah, you could do the intermediate classes, you could do the fight team training classes, because you have the basics down, you have all of this stuff down, right? So you, you could go with the more experienced people. So this is how I kind of developed that as a self-taught boxer. Okay, so that was my light. So don't matter, don't matter. You guys can still see me, right? So, two things. Number one was shadow boxing, right? Shadow boxing. So that means fighting your shadow. That means actually just like boxing in the air. You know what I mean? Um, that helps get your technique down. That helps you visualize, how you're gonna throw the punches. That helps you get into a flow. And that's like the number one biggest thing you could do from home. Shadow box. Like if you like I know there's like I heard some people that say that some prisoners some prisoners who who were boxing beforehand, right? But then they were sent to prison. Those that still shadow boxed, because they don't have equipment, they don't have sparring partners. Well, maybe they do have sparring partners, but you know they still retain their skills because they were shadow boxing. Hell, I think some of them even got better because they were shadow boxing. Because shadow boxing is so damn good. Okay, it's one of the best training methods out there. Because number one, your form, your technique, your power, your speed is all being tested. And number two, it's like if you can actually visualize a match going on in your mind, like somebody you're actually boxing, that's what helps you get you better, because everything starts in your mind. Everything's created in your mind. So by creating an opponent in your mind and actually dodging his punches, and I know it's gonna be very hard. It's gonna be very hard. But as a skill is, you gotta put in the repetitions. But like as you visualize this stuff and actually start getting it, you will get better. You will get better. So that's number one, shadow boxing. Um, let's get to it. Let's get to it, and I'll tell you number two later on. And I think it's only two things. Well, the third thing was if I'm just gonna spoil my third thing, which is the bonus, which is sparring my boys. Me and my boys went sparring at the beach, and then we went sparring outside. Then we went sparring somewhere else, and that's kind of like a test. You know how people or how schools give you tests on stuff, to test your ability. Yeah, that's kind of basically what we did. But if you don't have friends, go make some friends and go spar with them. But you don't actually need to do sparring. Like it's just to gauge your experience level, gauge your where you're at. That's basically what I view sparring as, and also so you can see your own mistakes on actual people. But you can still see it through shadow boxing. And I'll show you how. Number one is by recording it. So let's say I do it here. Actually, because I don't have my mic on, so you can't hear me if I start explaining over there. But fuck. Never mind. We'll go explain here. There's space. Okay, this is good. Okay, so number one, when you shadow box, especially when you're starting out, record yourself. Two things: record yourself or have a mirror, or have both. Right now, I don't have a mirror. Okay, if you have a mirror, you can actually see your form and stuff like that. And so have a mirror in front of you and just look at it and just see, okay, this is how I'm throwing my arm. This is how I'm moving my feet. This is how my body's rotating, right? That's good. And number two is like record it. So then after you're done shadow boxing, you can see how your body from a different angle. And you can see like very slow motion on it. Okay, so let's do some shadow boxing right now. So shadow box, right? One thing's like to stay loose, right? As hard as a beginner, when I was starting out, we were like this. I was like, just try to learn to keep everything more relaxed, right? And throw it out. If you gotta go slow, go slow. Honestly, it's better to go slow then to go not good for it. You feel me? And so what I would do, like if this is my mirror, I just look there. Right? Look at the side. See how my punches is going? It's going straight. Right? If I'm bringing my hand back to my face, if I'm turning with my punch, right? I just do that. Be like Bruce Lee. I'm not afraid of the man who has kicked 10,000 different kicks. I'm afraid from the man who practiced 10,000 kicks once. So like, do the same thing over and over and over again. Okay? Over and over and over again. And make sure you're getting the form right. Okay? A few things to practice, like that I would probably focus on is not even 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's probably just the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3s. Like shit, that's the things I'm focusing on right now. Whenever I just train by myself, I'm not even trying to implement some 5s and 6. I'm not trying to implement any uppercuts. It's mainly just trying to work my jab, my cross, and maybe sometimes my hooks. Maybe my hooks. But like, just focus on the 1, 2s for now, and that's gonna get you 80% of the way there. Because the jab is the most important punch in boxing. Your cross can be power shots. Your jab can be a fucking power shot. Y'all don't even play me. Like, I know I'm talking a lot, but like, my jabs when I sparred were my power shots. Y'all don't even play me. I didn't realize like other people teach you guys the different way where like jab is just for deception or for distance management. Like, I was practicing by myself. Right? And my jabs, I trained it in a way where my jabs were also something for power. Kinda crazy. But anyway, stop talking, shadow boxing, right? We're moving our feet. You know, if it's stepping to the right, you move to the right, right? L step. And if you don't know the techniques, right, this is what number 2 comes into play. Okay? But for now, just shadow box. See where you're at. See how your body's moving. You can implement some slips, right? And just flow for now. There's a couple different ways you can shadow box, but for now, let's just flow. Just flow. See how our bodies react to things, right? See what we're doing. Not trying to go super hard right now, right? Super hard comes when you're warmed up, you feel me? But for now, just flow. Okay? Okay, I apologize if you couldn't hear me there because I didn't have no mic on. But that's shadow boxing, right? You just shadow box, punch the air type thing. Well, you're not just punching air. You're actually trying to. One of the main things is to have good form. Okay, shadow boxing really helps you have good form because you can see if you're having good form when you are at like 20%, which is like what I just showed you. That's like 20%. You can still talk, you can still move, but you're having good form. And then you see how you are when you go 80%, go 100%, right? When you fully commit to your punches. See if you're getting super duper off balance and your punches start going like this, you know, and then your hands coming back up here, you know, right? That's something to fix up. That's something to condition yourself not to do, okay? But anyway, that's number 1, shadow boxing. So you want to have like always record it, right? So you can see what you're doing. But number 2, maybe have a mirror. I personally, when I shadow boxing, I think I did have a mirror. I have no idea, but I know I did record it. Having a mirror is really good, if I'm being honest. But I just don't have a mirror. So if you have a mirror, that's a big bonus. Okay, that's real time. Basically, mirrors are real time feedback, and that's I hope improve your stuff, your game much faster. Okay, but yeah, that's shadow boxing. So practice. Do shadow boxing like every single freaking day type thing. That's basically what I would do. Do it for warm ups, right? So do it slow so you can get some sweat going, and then do it for, like, there's so many different things you could do for shadow boxing. Then do it to, like, fix up a certain form technique that you wanted to do, and then do it for, like, just conditioning, going 100% on your punches. There's so many different things you can do. So don't think that shadow boxing, just because you're shadow boxing, means you're gonna be less than a person who has all the equipment, who has the punching bag and all. Honestly, I didn't have no punching bag. My punching bag was my sparring partners, was my boys. Okay, so I had no punching bag for 2 years straight when I was training by myself. I just got that punching bag while making this series. You feel me? So, and I don't even use it that much, if I'm being honest. Okay, so that's that. That's number one. Number one is shadow boxing. But let's say you're so freaking new to the gym. You're so new to boxing. You're like, Elijah, you're saying jabs, you're saying number twos, you're saying straights. I don't even know how to move my feet. I don't even know how to freaking box at all. I don't know any of these terminologies. That is where we go here to probably one of the greatest places on the planet to learn, or the greatest places on the planet to get addicted to. Okay? And that's YouTube. You go to YouTube, boys. I am a YouTube warrior. As you can see, I'm posting this on YouTube. And so I learned most of my boxing things from YouTube. I had no coach. I had no my friends were all test dummies on, so again, test subjects. And so I would go on YouTube, probably start off with some like the Jeff Nippert of boxing was Tony Jeffries. But I personally, once you watch like a couple beginner videos, you're like, all these Tony Jeffrey videos and other videos get to and they get that to it. So what I did, right? I'd watch people like oh shit, I have in my subscriptions. So get the basics down first, right? That's number one. So if you gotta watch some Tony Jeffries videos, watch some Tony Jeffries videos. If you don't know who that is, that's some freaking Olympic guy, that Tony Jeffries. I'm like making this a freaking in-depth tutorial. Tony Jeffries, that guy. Okay? Not that guy. Okay, watch some Tony Jeffries videos so you know how to do, all the basics. Practice that for a few weeks, right? But then once you stop, like, I personally just like stopped liking his videos. It felt more like a entertainment. Like, look at this, like a VR YouTuber. Like, come on, felt more entertainment. I'm more of the type to go super duper educational route. So some channels I like watching was like Skiller Boxing, where they have like in-depth things about certain fighters. And that's another thing. Look up the fight. Start watching other boxing, fights. You might start off with like Mike Tyson, but like you're gonna find out very fast that 99% of us cannot fight like Mike Tyson, and our bodies just don't work that way. And so I would personally like just go down the rabbit hole of boxers, of different types of boxers. And so a good place to start it off is probably Skiller Boxing. I'm gonna just keep the subscription thing short of who I follow. But like Skiller Boxing has, a bunch of different people, and you can like, wow, I wanna be like this guy. You know what I mean? Oh, you can't even see what I'm pointing at. But I wanna be like Junto Nakatani. Or I wanna have like, I'm short like Tank Davis. Or I'm a southpaw like this guy. You know what I mean? Look at see the different types of fighters out there and the different techniques, and like try it out. Try it out and see like, oh shit, this guy probably has the same kind of body, not mechanics, but limb length and all of that, genetics as I do. I should probably try his fighting style. And the thing is, when you try different fighting styles, you're not gonna be good at it in the beginning because again, you're like unnatural. But you just try it out, This is basically what I did. I tried out a bunch of different styles. And somebody that I really wanted to implement, to be like, was Marvelous Marvin Hagler. He was like, greatest middleweight of all time, switch hitter, started out as a southpaw, but learned how to do orthodox. You know, his jab, I think that's why my jab was freaking goated. It's because his jab was freaking goated. He got head snapping back jabs, and it would just be constantly pumping out. And because I, you know, started watching his videos, because he was one of the greatest of all time, my jab became super duper good. Like I know I have a good jab. Okay, so yeah, start watching guys on YouTube, and once you watch it, right, it's like learning. That's your learning phase. The implementation phase is the shadow boxing. So learn it from online, from the YouTube. Watch your favorite fighter. Well, by now you probably don't have a favorite fighter, but watch some different types of fighters and like, damn, I want to try that out. Start doing it. Try it out in your shadow boxing. Okay, and once you do that, watch your videos again, watch the content again, and see what you can fix. So it's kind of like the what's this called? Scientific method. Let me get my whiteboard. Hold on. Okay, boys, we're back on the whiteboard. Haven't been here in a while, but I just wrote down what I was telling you guys earlier. Okay, and so step one, right? The first thing we want to do, I mean, step zero would probably be like at least learn something on boxing, which is like learn how to move your feet, 1, 2, you know what I mean? Probably, okay, step zero, probably like learn the basics from YouTube, right? But then step one would be to shadow box, right? To actually know how your body moves when you box, right? Because this is going to be unnatural for some people, right? Learning how to do all of that is going to be unnatural. So shadow boxing will help you, well, one, warm up, you know, get your body moving, get your body used to it. Number two, like fix your form, right? Because we're trying to focus on having good form, good technique, right? Mastering our technique. But like you could also use shadow boxing for conditioning, to improve your freaking conditioning. Put in that sweat, commit to your shots, that type of thing. Actually build up that freaking heart rate, right? Like, if I'm being honest again, I didn't even run. I don't even run. I don't even go running. But I think my conditioning is pretty good because not only do I shadow box, but like if you just think about running, all the conditioning is to get your heart rate used to being at a high beats per minute, right? To basically be used to having your heart rate elevated at a certain level consistently. And as your heart rate is raised consistently and not in a like, you know, elevated blood pressure type way, but like, you know, cardiovascular wise, your conditioning is better. Okay? So running is not the only way to improve your conditioning, boys. This is basically what I'm trying to say. Number, I don't know, it's not even a number, it's a freaking arrow. Fight imitation, like actually visualizing a fight. And it's gonna be hard in the beginning because you've never been in a fight, probably, right? So you can't really visualize it, right? And that's just where you're just gonna have to one, uh, one, try to visualize it. Just try to do it. But number two, you could do it. You could kind of try being in the mind of other fighters, right? When you watch, like, let's say you watch UFC or in this case, you watch boxing. Try being in the mind of the person that you're watching and try to see what he's seeing. Try to feel what he's feeling. Okay, so that's what we're gonna get to step number 3. Okay, record yourself is probably like an actionable step. Record yourself so you can see what you're doing, and I could say number. Have a mirror. Mirror gives you real-time feedback, right? Like right now, like you could see, like, oh jeez, when I throw this punch, my hand doesn't go full extension. You feel me? Have a mirror. If you don't have a mirror, try getting one. I know I don't have one, but get a mirror, okay, and record yourself. Emulate pro fighters. That's why I was telling you about like fight imitation. You want to watch some pro fighters and try to be in their shoes, right? Try to see what they see. Try to punch the way they punch, and that's how I like to shadow box. Okay, and if you don't know how to do it, that's step number 3. Step number 2. Watch your shadow boxing. Look for mistakes. See what you did wrong, right? See how you're not fully extending on your punches. See how you're dropping your hands when you bring it back, right? See all of that stuff. And then Write it down. Take notes. Take notes. Take notes on yourself. Try to beat yourself up. Like, be like your opponent saying, oh, this is his tendency. This is what this guy likes to do. And take your freaking notes. So look for things you did wrong, but also things that you did right. That's something I personally like to do. I just like to think, damn, that was a good punch. Or, damn, that was a good pivot. Or, damn, I didn't drop my hands after that third combo. So look for things you did right, because those tendencies, you could, number one, fix up the things that you're weak on, but number two, capitalize things that you're good at, right? Because for me personally, like, I know I'm good at like range. I know I'm good with my jab, and so once I saw that my jab was pretty long, but also pretty good, I even got better at it. And now my jab is like strong head snapping, right? And fast, you feel me? And so see what you did right, because odds are that could be your weapon. And it doesn't even need to be your weapon, you know what I mean? But it just, something good can be turned into great, you feel me? And so that's number two. And number three, learning boxing at home, okay? Is to learn from YouTube, right? Watch some fundamental videos. And even I, personally, I do watch some fundamental videos. Probably not from Tony Jeffries anymore, but like I still watch some how to do the 1-2s in a, how to do 1-2, how to practice that, how to move your head in a good way. Because I still learn these fundamental things, even as like somebody who has been doing this for 2 years and has been boxing at an actual gym for like a few months. Like, I'm still learning, I'm still brushing up on my fundamentals. So there's no shortage of learning the basics. The fundamentals are the foundations. Okay? And then the other thing is to study different pros. Like, not just Mike Tyson. When I started, I only knew Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao. Only those four, probably. And so once you dive into the boxing YouTube of boxing, you're gonna see different pros, especially people with. What I would do is probably look at somebody that has similar, not only physical gifts that you have, right? Like limb length, like height, and weights, because those can affect the play style that you do, but also the mindset. Like, see the mindset of different fighters, because some people have the mindset of being an outfighter. I personally like to, even though I'm like long and lengthy, and I should be more like boxing on the outside, I personally like the push forward mentality. I like to go, like, be on the aggressive. I don't like being on the defensive. So that's why I'm not doing the Philly shell all the time. You feel me? And yes, there's a time and place to, be on the defensive, but like the mindset of different fighters. Like, this is a mindset, the Mexicans are, they have the mindset of aggression, of being on the, always applying pressure. That type of thing. And then there's different fighter mentalities where, okay, I'm going to counterpunch, right? I'm going to wait for the punch to come to me. And so, yeah. So study different pros. Look for similarities in both physique-wise and mental-wise. Take notes. Always take notes. I personally, I took notes a lot in the beginning. Right now, I probably should take more notes, if I'm being honest. Okay? And then the last thing is to watch the full fights, bro. Don't just watch the highlight reels. Highlight reels are like motivational, and you can see like how they do a knockout punch, right? But there's so much to boxing than highlight reels. So watch the full fights, especially of your pro fighters. So a pro that I like to watch was Marvelous Marvin Hagler. That's the one I really wanted to implement. That's how like, if you just watch his highlights, you're not going to see so much of his jabs. Well, maybe you'll see some of his jab, but you see a lot of his combos and just him knocking people out. But like, if you watch his full fights, you see his jab at work the whole time. The whole time. And the thing is, like, again, with that aggression style that I really wanted to implement, he's always there. He's always in front of his opponent. And yes, he's at range. This is me like glazing Marvin Hagler. But he's at range, right? He's throwing the jab at range. But it's still kind of technically long range, because he's full extension with his punches. He's not in hook range. But he's also applying pressure. Applying pressure with his feints, with his head movement, and all of that. And so that's why I love Marvin Hagler. He's what got me invested into boxing. And so yeah, so watch different pros, okay? And yeah, that's my 3-step process. So once you start watching the pros, you take notes and you watch the full fight, then you go back to step 1. You start shadow boxing. Shadow box, shadow box, shadow box. Honestly, if there's one thing you should do is just shadow box and watch from YouTube. Or shadow box, you know, corrections, make corrections, watch from YouTube, shadow box again. This is basically implementation phase. This is the gathering data and then gathering data, making corrections, seeing seeing what resulted from your experiment, which was shadowboxing, and then learning, okay, what else can I do to improve this? Ooh, what else can I do to improve my boxing skills? And then go back. And just a constant iteration. You know, consistency, the boring work. If you get this in every single type of extracurricular activity. And somebody say, what else do you do in an extracurricular activity? But yeah, that's basically it, boys. This is basically how you learn boxing. From home. Home. Learn boxing from home. 3-step process. It's really a 3-step process. You can bonus would be to what you call it? Spar. Go get some friends. Go ask them if they have some gloves. I actually asked my friends for gloves, and just go spar with them. Of course, get some wraps, get some gloves. You know what I mean? Those are things to invest in. But like with no equipment at all, you don't need wraps to do any of this. With no equipment at all, this is what you do. And this is basically what I did for the past 2 years, right? Until I started going to an actual boxing gym, having like, you know, heavy bags. You don't even need it. You don't need it. You don't need it to get good. Like I got good without mitts, without gloves, without the punching bag. Okay, so this might be a long video. It's more of a tutorial instead of a more educational than it is what's that called? Than it is day in the life type thing, documentation. I don't know if we can make this smaller. But it is what it is. Okay? So I hope you guys learned something from it. Especially the person who commented that. And yeah, this is basically what I did. And see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully I go to practice tomorrow. I gotta wake up like at 4:30 and then start walking. And hopefully I'm there by like 5:30. 5:30, 6 o'clock. So yeah, so my like, okay, I'm talking a lot, but like I bought the parts online, so it's gonna come in like 2 weeks. So I'm gonna be like walking for 2 weeks, bro. Yeah, it is what it is. I'll see you guys later. Deuces.